A deadly viral disease affecting deer has emerged in Michigan, raising concerns among wildlife enthusiasts and hunters. Epizootic Hemorrhagic Disease, EHD, a condition spread by tiny flies known as midges, has claimed the lives of several white-tailed deer in 4 counties. Here's what you need to know about this concerning outbreak. According to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, DNR, EHD has been identified in Eaton, Jackson, Van Buren, and Washtenaw counties. This disease, which typically strikes during late summer and early fall, can be lethal to deer. Affected animals often seek out water sources to cool down and rehydrate, a behavior that can lead to their discovery near rivers, lakes, and ponds. But here's where it gets controversial. While EHD is primarily a concern for deer populations, some argue that it could indirectly impact the broader ecosystem. For instance, a significant reduction in deer numbers might affect the food chain and plant life in certain areas. However, the DNR maintains that EHD has not had a lasting negative impact on deer populations in the state. EHD is transmitted through the bites of infected midges. These tiny flies thrive in warm, moist environments, making wet springs followed by hot, dry summers ideal conditions for outbreaks. The first frost of autumn typically eliminates the midge population, halting the spread of the disease. It's important to note that deer do not transmit EHD directly to each other, and there is no evidence that humans, pets, or other wildlife can contract the virus. However, the DNR advises against consuming meat from any animal that appears sick, even if it's from an area where EHD has been reported. Healthy deer from these regions, however, remain safe for consumption. Symptoms of EHD in deer: lethargy, disorientation, lameness or unresponsiveness, bloody discharge from the nose and mouth, swollen or blue-tinged tongue, swelling around the eyelids, neck, or head. If you come across a deer that exhibits these symptoms or appears to have died from EHD, you can report it through the DNR's Eyes in the Field online system. This helps wildlife officials track the spread of the disease and take necessary actions to manage its impact. And this is the part most people miss. Despite the alarming nature of EHD, the DNR emphasizes that it does not pose a long-term threat to deer populations. Deer that survive the infection develop immunity, and outbreaks are rarely repeated in the same area in consecutive years. This natural cycle of infection and recovery helps maintain the balance of the deer population. Interestingly, deer hunting in Michigan saw a slight increase in 2024. According to a DNR report, 532,926 people participated in deer hunting across all seasons, marking a 1% rise from the previous year. A total of 604,088 licenses were sold, indicating sustained interest in the sport. For those planning to hunt in the 2025-26 season, here are the key dates to remember. Liberty Youth Hunt, September 13-14. Early Antlerless Firearm, September 20-21st. Independence Hunt, October 16-19. Archery, October 1st to November 14, and December 1st to January 1st, 2026. Extended Archery through January 31st, 2026 in select counties: Huron, Kent, Lapeer, Macomb, Oakland, Sanilac, St. Clair, excluding DMU 174, Tuscola, Washtenaw, and Wayne. Regular Firearm, November 15-30, Muzzle Loading, December 5-14, Late Antlerless Firearm, December 15th to January 1st, 2026, on private and public lands in Lower Peninsula DMUs, excluding 115, 145, and 245. Extended Late Antlerless Firearm, January 2-11th, 2026. For assistance, hunters can call 517-284-9453. What do you think about the impact of EHD on deer populations? Do you believe it poses a significant threat, or is it just a natural part of the ecosystem? Share your thoughts in the comments below.